洛杉矶河是一条52里长的河。
它开始在 San Fernando 谷，在 Canoga Park 两条溪 Bell Creek 和 Arroyo Calabasas 汇合。这条河流经 San Fernando 谷，经过 Sepulveda Basin 水坝。
它继续流经洛杉矶市中心地区和其他城市，包括 Campton 和 Long Beach。河在 Long Beach 结束，它在洛杉矶港流入太平洋。
这条河给原住民食物和水，洛杉矶的原住民是改不了他们的。
西班牙人来之前，他们有45个军事在河附近。
在1789年，当第一批西班牙人抵达时，他们将河命名为 El Río de Nuestra Señora, la Reina de los Ángeles de Porciúncula。
这条河原来在平原上流散，这个平原就是现在的洛杉矶地区。
那么多年来，河流的路线被改变了很多次。
这条河会经常泛滥，在一次大泛滥之后，河开始在1938年灌溉水泥，在1960年完成。很多工业在河边发展，和洛杉矶的人口增长。这条河被污染和自然生态消失了。在不久之前，这里努力尝试去清理和改善这条河的自然生态和人们的生活。
Well, I've never really visited the LA River in general, mainly because I never even knew that the bridge to Chinatown is actually the LA River right under it, because what I mainly see is just a tiny little stream of water and a lot of concrete.
洛杉矶河我没有太多的经验，我只经过洛杉矶河几次，开车经过。所以我对洛杉矶河没有什么概念。That means I don't have any much interaction with it.
I learned that the city was built around it. I know that, and I learned that there's people trying to revive the LA River. I didn't think much people really cared about the river or anything like that.
That the LA River is half natural and half cement.
我听说洛杉矶河是常常没有水 ，means no water, right？ 每次我经过的时候都是干的 ，means it's dry， 所以我很想看一看洛杉矶河真正的样子。That means I want to see the real LA River, the real face of the LA River.
I feel like it's a good thing. It's a positive outcome, but at the same time, a lot of the people around there need to be considered. You know, they have their homes and their jobs. It could be a positive and a negative outcome.
我觉得海对我的影响很大，因为我觉得喜欢水和海的人都比较聪明。The Chinese has a proverb that people who likes water are smarter.
We are hoping that we get to a swimmable, boatable, fishable river. Right now we've gotten to at least 2 of those, because last year, as I mentioned, the EPA actually is allowing for kayaking in the LA River in Sepulveda Basin with the help of Los Angeles Conservation Corps. And we know from a fish study done by the Los Angeles Friends of the LA River, Friends of the Los Angeles River, that the fish are not polluted, or not as polluted as we imagined, So that means that we can fish for recreation. And right now we're, again, because it's a seasonal river, there's not a whole lot of water for swimming in. but we're hoping that if it has that nomination, that we can use it for that type of recreation. Yes. What you see right now that looks like bamboo is considered a rundo. That is a invasive species. What you see in the middle, cottonwood and alders, those are native species. Those are native to riparian habitat. What you see up here on the edge and the higher grounds are native species. They're oaks and again sycamores, those types of plants that exist here. Also, a lot of the birds, migratory birds come, egrets, coots. The steelhead trout would be the perfect example of a native that no longer exists here because the invasive fish, the carp, is taken over. I mean, if you can hear us now, human activity by sound would probably keep certain species from being able to find this comfortable place for their breeding and nesting. You can hear trains, you can hear planes, you can hear traffic. You see guys on bikes. All those kinds of things impact an area. So we have to learn to make certain areas completely conservation only, and that's going to be a different effort. I think it's hard to say how many types of species live, several hundred, I would say, of birds, foxes that come down from the mountains, mainly I think migratory birds and a different species of invasive fish.
I really love this community so much. It feels like a second home to me. It's such a diverse and interesting place to be. There's so many different types of people, so many different types of food, so many ways to get around that I always feel like I'm learning something new. They're an excellent thing. I feel like I personally would like to swim and play at the river and canoe and kayak down the river. So I wholeheartedly welcome them. And like I said, as long as folks who live in the area, who have businesses in the area, who go to school and work in the area are able to enjoy those same benefits and those same improvements, I'm all for it. I think they would enjoy it. I think it would make it more social for those people. They can, on a Saturday or a Sunday, you can go out and you can play and you can, have time with your family, have a picnic or bike along the river. And so I think that overall, I think the revitalization will have a positive impact on the Chinese community in the area. I think it'll, if it's done right, I think it'll bring good jobs to the area. It could bring good jobs for folks who are involved in the recreation aspect of it. It could bring good jobs for people who are using, who are living in this area, who are working in this area. I think that if it's done right and we incorporate the local small businesses that live here, we can really take advantage of this new development and this new revitalization and really make it work for everybody who lives here right now. Instead of just for a few people, who might come in from other places.
我觉得会，因为现在已经有人住在河旁边，但是很多地方，还没有很多房子，所以我觉得如果他们改善这条河，会attract 很多新的 developers。我觉得会影响到那些人已经住在河旁边，但是在整个这个改变的过程，我们还会有很多建设的机会。然后现在在洛杉矶，很多人如果他们工作在建设这个行业，他们加入了很多工会，所以整个这个计划，这个 redevelopment，可能会给我们更多的 工会工作计划。
Positive improvements, I think there's a risk that we run of pushing out folks who have lived here for so long, particularly low-income, foreign-born immigrants who have made this their community, made this their home, and really turned this area into what it is today, this really vibrant cultural space. We build all these things, and the people who live here now can't afford it, then who will be here to appreciate it? Who will be here to sustain it, sustain the life and blood of this community?
我觉得洛杉矶河的改变肯定会影响到旁边的社区，因为现在有很多人住在这条河的旁边，然后如果这个城市或者其他的私人公司，如果他们建设新的房子，会影响到我们的租金。我觉得这个问题很有意思，因为原来应该有这个规定，但是现在因为我们没有这个 CRA， 就是 Community Redevelopment Agency， 所以在法律上其实我们没有这个要求政府建设这个 affordable housing， 所以目前我们没有这个要求。
I think that it's important that people start to pay attention to the efforts done by different organizations. There's several working on collaborative resources to promote the use of recreation around the river. The bike path is a perfect example of that. 10 years ago that didn't exist. So now that that's there, it allows for people to see parts of the river that they normally wouldn't have gotten to. So you can take this path all the way to Long Beach. That's pretty amazing. La Gran Limpieza is an effort done by a group called Friends of the LA River. It's an annual river cleanup to come and take plastics and debris, trash that has made it down into the channel, out. And you can be involved, just a small effort by signing up, volunteering for one day and just a couple of hours and helping remove the plastic that ends up in the LA River. I think find your way down to the river, find your way to one of the paths, one of the bike paths, one of the trails, one of the mini parks. Show people about the river if you know about it. You bring your friends. I think the more people care, then the more we can get to our plan of having a really beautiful place here in Los Angeles near the water.
所以我觉得很重要是我们大家了解这个 Revitalization 计划不仅会影响到大自然，也会影响到我们住房还有工作的机会和情况，所以我觉得很重要，我们应该去多了解整个这个计划，了解到我们怎么可以影响这个过程。
We've been trying to do our best to make sure that the voices of folks who are living here right now are heard by bringing them to city council meetings, by asking for petitions, by asking for folks to write down what their concerns are, by doing door knocking, by doing surveys. So as long as we're bringing people into the process, I think we can make sure that it has a positive impact for the growth and development of this community, but also making sure we're preserving the cultural integrity and preserving the people who live here now. I think the river is such an important resource for our community, and to really connect the way we see our urban environment, where we live, to our natural environment, to see how those things work together is so important. And so that challenge that people are struggling with right now, even though it seems really daunting and really difficult, I think that if we're able to connect those two pieces, think about the humans who live here, think about the animals and the wildlife who live here, and make them work together, I think it'll be a really beautiful thing.
在 Woodrow Wilson 高学，我们是普老师的汉语3B学生。
我们班里有14个学生，
有4个是母语学生，10个是在学普通话。我们是在2013年3月开始这个计划。
我们的录音项目是关于洛杉矶河。
我们知道它是如何被灌入水泥和污染的。我们观察它是如何影响住在沿岸低收入亚裔和拉丁裔社区。
要看河如何为我们的社区提供正面的贡献。我们访问了和这条河有关的人们。
我们的录影的主要问题是洛杉矶河是如何被改善的，洛杉矶河是如何影响和沿岸的低收入亚裔和拉丁裔的社区改善。
这个项目是重要的，因为我们需要注意我们的社区和环境和如何改善它。我们需要教导人们来建造一个更绿、更干净的环境。当我们对社区的前途有共同感时，我们可以一起改善它。